CBS News correspondent Christina Ruffini is reporting from Rzeszów, Poland. Christina, I know you have been working around the clock, speaking to a number of people on the ground there. First of all, tell us about efforts in Ukraine to get care for children with cancer.
Yeah, this is something you might not think about when a conflict starts, but you have these critical care kids who are undergoing treatment and they can't stop treatment. However, what we've seen with power outages, with people not being able to get to doctors, with cities being under attack, that's just not something that's realistic. So we went to a hospital here in Rzeszów where they have about 19 pediatric cancer patients, and he said about 7 or 8, we spoke to the head of the department, are from Ukraine. We met with a mother who has a young toddler who's undergoing leukemia treatment. She came here from Ukraine. They have no other place to stay, so she and her 2 other kids have been staying in this tiny hospital room while her daughter gets care because she's septic, she's got other problems, and so they've got to stabilize her before they can even move her on to another hospital. The doctor told us, in his opinion, anybody getting cancer treatment in Ukraine right now should try to leave the country because there's no guarantee that that care can continue, and it's so essential for a positive outcome that there not be any interruptions in the care that they're getting. So that's why they're trying to get these kids out and get them to hospitals. We were at a border about 2 hours north of here yesterday waiting for a woman who was crossing over with 2 of these kids in her car. I mean, they were very critically ill, and they were not in an ambulance. They were just in regular cars with volunteers who'd driven them across the border. They had to wait upwards of 4 hours to get through the border control, and then they moved on to other cities. And we're seeing this all across Poland. I think they said there were 17 different cancer care hospitals in the country, and almost all of them right now are receiving patients, both pediatric and non-pediatric patients from Ukraine who need to continue their treatment.
Such an urgent situation on so many levels. Christina, well over 2 million people have left Ukraine since Russia attacked. Are you hearing from anyone who is deciding that they actually want to go back?
Initially what we were seeing is a lot of young men want to go back, right? Ukrainians live all over Europe, but a lot of them had come back to the border crossing, especially that when we spent a lot of time at Medica, you could see them with their backpacks and their fatigues ready to go, and they would be walking up towards the border while everybody else was coming down. But yesterday, while we were at that border crossing, there was a policeman standing on the side of the road, and when cars would pull up to the border checkpoint and have empty seats, he would say, "Can you take someone to Ukraine? Do you have room to take someone in?" And they would say yes, and people would run across and get in. We saw women, we saw children, we saw men. So we didn't get a chance to talk to them. They were too far away, but we are seeing people going back into Ukraine for a variety of reasons. Look, some have family members they need to go help. Some are going to go fight. Some want to go check on property, businesses, all of these things. People have lives and homes and things they want to get back to in Ukraine. That's one thing we've heard almost universally from everyone is they're here. They're so appreciative of the outpouring of support, but they want the war to end and they want to go back as soon as possible because Ukraine is their home.
And it's important to remember, there are about 2.8 million refugees who've left the country in a country of about 44.2 million. So most are still there.
44 million, yeah.
Yeah. What do we know, Christina, about National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan's meeting in Rome today with his Chinese counterpart? Probably one of the more critical moments in recent days, at least in terms of the diplomacy around all this, right?
Yeah, so the U.S. has said that the Chinese seem to be receptive to Russia's request, or that Russia has made this request that China help them in this conflict in Ukraine. NATO and the U.S. are providing weapons to the Ukrainians. We could have a full-scale proxy war here if China really does decide to fuel the Russian side and give the Russian aid. Now, Russia has denied that and said that's, fake news and that's not something they've asked for. But the point of this talk between Sullivan and his Chinese counterpart is to say, look, there will be very, very serious consequences for China if you get involved in this conflict or if you help Russia evade these sanctions. There's been very universal support for these sanctions. European allies, all other allies have gotten on board. And the only way that Russia can really skirt these is to have a big economic powerhouse like China help them out. And so that's a red line for the U.S. And Jake Sullivan went down to make that clear because he said that's not something the U.S. is going to tolerate in any kind of form.
Yeah, 7 hours of intense conversations, the White House said. In a separate set of talks, one of the issues that Ukraine has been raising in its conversations with Russia is having protected routes for civilians to flee, kind of getting at the point we were talking about a little while before. Does there seem to be any improvement on the ability of those Ukrainian refugees to get out of the country safely if they so choose?
I mean, not what we've seen, especially in cities like Mariupol. I talked to some State Department sources today who said that it's under constant bombardment. They've seen no effort to get civilians out. And we've actually not seen as many refugees as we thought we would the last couple of days here. You know, when there was that strike close to Lviv at that international training center, the reason we drove up to that border crossing is because it was closest across the border. It was only, 20 kilometers or so away. And we were expecting to see a lot of refugees coming over. And the people at the border crossing, the aides, the volunteers, they'd all staffed up and they said they were all waiting for people to come flooding over the border. And we really haven't seen it yet. Now, that could be for a couple of reasons. There's always a bit of a lag. People have to pack up their homes and their lives and decide to leave. But I also, talking to a lot of people, it seems to be getting harder and harder to get out, right? A lot of people are just going to places like Lviv, going to places in Western Ukraine that they think are relatively safe and staying because the journey here is uncertain, it's crowded, it's difficult, and for the moment they think it's better perhaps to just hunker down and hope that this conflict ends sooner rather than later. Although it shows no signs of that at this point.
No signs at all. You know, Christina, I remember when we first started seeing your reporting on the ground, when you arrived there in Poland, and those stories of the Ukrainians walking all day, walking all night with children. What kind of changes have you seen? It's been a couple weeks now, correct? In the time since you've arrived there, from those early days when Ukrainians were first crossing into Poland until now.
It does seem like the transportation to the border checkpoints is getting a little easier. I'm talking to fewer and fewer people who are saying, like we talked about in those first days, women and children and mothers walking for, 20, 18, 40 hours in the freezing cold. We are talking to a lot of people who say that one woman said she got on a Red Cross bus and that took her into Lviv. And in Lviv, she stayed at a school that they turned into a refugee center. She stayed on the ground there. Then she was able to get transportation here. So it seems like some of that is getting a little better. We're hearing people are able to come through the border and go back, especially aid groups that are trying to bring people or drop food or supplies. So it does seem to be getting a little bit more organized. But again, we haven't quite seen the number or the huge influxes that we saw in those first couple of weeks. So if that picks up again, if something really disrupts a city center like Lviv, where a lot of people are camped out and there's a rush for the exits and we feel like people need to leave, I think you're going to start to see those problems again. But they seem to have scaled up and organized a little bit for the level of people that they have leaving at this time.
And the other incredible thing is we haven't seen a let up in the human spirit or the human desire to help those that are coming across. And you continue to show us that every day. Christina Ruffini in Poland, thank you. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.